So there is a big misconception in the SMMA community that starting an e-commerce agency is really hard. But in this video, I'm going to show you the strategies that I use as a complete beginner starting an e-commerce agency from scratch and scaling it way past $25,000 a month, and how you can do the exact same thing. Because starting an e-commerce agency is definitely not as hard as the gurus make it seem, but there's one thing that you have to understand before you start this. And that is the fact that your offer has to be a little bit different. But I'm not going to waste your time, so let's get straight into the video and I'll show you how to start an insanely profitable e-commerce agency that's going to make you money for years to come. Because this is not the type of business where you work with a local gym and you just lose your clients a month from now. You're going to make your clients so dependent on you that it doesn't make any sense for him to leave. So let's get into it. And also I have a free Discord, so I'm going to go ahead and put the link to that in the description. It's completely free. I'm not here to sell you anything and there is no upsells inside of it. So if you want to learn more about SMMA, make sure to join it. But let's get straight into the video. So the fastest way to start a $25,000 a month e-commerce agency in 2023. This is a video that's very good for beginners, but also advanced agency owners. Now, when you're the number 25,000, you're probably thinking, Hendrik, I just want to get to $10,000 a month and start traveling. And yeah, I absolutely get it. But by properly setting up your e-commerce agency, you can do way more than that. $25,000 a month, this is the big goal for you. And compared to your local lead generation agency, you could actually do this just by having 1 to 2 clients. When you run an e-commerce agency, you're going to have 2 to 3 clients that's really dependent on you that you can scale to hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. So for a couple of e-commerce stores that I work with, as you can see on the screen here, these stores are making over $100,000 a month. And when I have 20, 25, 30% of all the profits in that business of the sales that I generate for them, then I don't need to manage 10 different clients on a $2,000 a month retainer that could technically leave me at any time that I have to super convince to even get on a sales meeting with me. So the best thing about this is that you only need a couple of people that you can really focus on and really scale. And you might be thinking, how am I going to run ads for an e-commerce store and bring them from $20,000 a month to $200,000 a month? And I get it, it sounds really hard, but it's actually not. So the 3 stages. The first thing you have to understand is that you must learn advertising. Listen, you cannot help an e-commerce store if you don't know what you're talking about. And most of these e-commerce owners are running the ads themselves, so they have somewhat of an idea as to how to run Facebook ads or Google ads, whatever they use, which means you must know what you're talking about. You must understand the marketing language. And the best way to learn this is by going on YouTube, maybe doing some free trials for clients, but most importantly, studying your field before you're starting. Otherwise, you're just going to have no deals. The second stage is the outreach. This is going to be a little bit annoying, probably the hardest, but I'm going to show you how to get inbound leads for your clients so you don't even have to reach out to them, and also how you can actually find good quality leads that you can reach out to. The third stage is closing the clients and the service delivery, which we're going to talk about a little bit later on in this video. So what's the top 3 services to offer e-commerce business? In my opinion, number 1 is TikTok ads, and the reason for that is that it's a little bit more untapped. So you can imagine so many of these e-commerce stores doing reach out to them on Facebook has been approached by so many agencies in the past, giving them a generic offer saying that we're going to run your Facebook ads. Therefore, I think running a TikTok ad agency is a little bit more new, it's a little bit more untapped, and yeah, it's somewhat saturated still, but you're going to beat them, so it's completely fine. The second service you can do is an upsell and email marketing agency, and in my opinion, this is one of the best one. I have a friend that's doing absolutely amazing with it. So what I did actually for my own agency is we were scaling a store in Sweden, and I actually got my friend who runs an upsell agency to increase the average order value from a product from $39 all the way up to $46. So that could be an agency that, for example, sends out emails to people that abound cards saying, hey, we noticed that you didn't purchase. We would like to offer you a 10% off discount code that you can use. And then we're able to reconvert them and get them back into the store. So if you know how to do email so you can learn it, or you know how to increase average order value in stores, this is definitely the agency for you, because it's different. These business owners have not been approached before, most likely by people saying, I only focus on increasing your average order value. I'm not focusing on running your ads. And this is how you really stand out in a competitive market. So that could be you increasing the average order value by bundling the products for the store. Buy 2, get 1 free, or setting up priority shipping that adds $4 to the cost. If you're in e-commerce, you would know what I'm talking about. The whole point here is to help the store make more money per sale. The third service you can start is Google ads or Facebook ads agency. That's what I'm doing. I'm running Facebook ads for e-commerce stores. I've done it for over 6 years now. It's still definitely something you can do. Just have to have some sort of understanding, so make sure you watch some YouTube videos. But if you know how to talk to people, how to convince them, how to give them free value and set them up on a call and make it risk-free, which is what we're going to talk about here in a second, is going to be completely fine for you. Before I teach you the exact strategy, I want to let you know one thing. When you do e-commerce, you can have 2 to 3 clients and you can have 25% or 20% of profits in their business. Then you can work with them on commission. This is actually way better. I would rather have a couple of stores that makes $200,000 a month where I have 20% profits of everything over break-even was, than have a 1K a month retainer or 2K a month retainer. So what you want to do is you want to delay the money a little bit and actually work on commissions and get paid every other week. So 2 times a month, and you get paid by the money that you get them. So if you can give a lot of value value to the marketplace, you will be paid big bucks. But if you can't, you're not going to be paid anything. So you might be saying, I don't know how to run ads. That's cool. I have videos on it. You're going to be completely fine. The two approaches here, the first one is outreach, another one is inbound leads. This is basically you reaching out to clients or clients reaching out to you. The first thing you have to know about outreach is that it always works at some point, but it can take some time and it might be kind of tedious. It is a grind. It's very good for beginners. It's also a good way for you to learn, and you will understand how to actually talk to people, and you will also have a lot of chances to test out different scripts, see what's working, learn how to talk to people in general. The second approach is to get inbound leads. This means that leads are coming to you. So for inbound leads, it's way more scalable. You can actually use paid ads, which someone I work with is using right now, and you don't have to spend that much, believe it or not. Even if you have a budget of $1,000, you have a good ad, you're gonna wake up tomorrow after running the ads for like $70 a day with tons of people reaching out to you, wanting you to run their ads. Now, all you need to figure out is, can you work with them? Do you think you're gonna get them sales? And then if you can, well, take them on. So running ads to your agency is definitely a very underrated thing, and it's not so expensive. You can also find inbound leads by posting in groups, e-commerce groups, making them come to you, giving value in the group, and then people are going to reach out to you afterwards. So with inbound leads, it's easier to close because you're dealing with a warm client. A warm client is always going to be easier to close than if you just spam someone and hope for a response. Say the right things and they will close, assuming they have the money. But if you're working on commission-based deals, which you should, they will always have the money because it's not really any risk. It's pretty much risk-free. But I'm going to give you a little bit of hope. As you can see, I have had a couple of students inside of Agency Game that signed within their first month multiple high-paying clients for e-commerce on a retainer. You can do it, but still I recommend it to do commission because it's just way more valuable. It's going to make you a lot more money in the long run. So now you might be asking me, how do I outreach? How do I find these clients? So let's look at it right here. I'm going to show you the two best strategies to do it. So the first way of doing it is actually by going to Facebook, and every third post on Facebook is an ad, and what you engage with is what you get. So if you click on ads for gyms and working out, you're going to get workout products. But eventually, once scrolling for some time, even if it takes you 20 minutes, you're going to find an e-commerce ads, and they're easy to spot because it's physical products. Then you're going to click shop now, quickly engage with the page, scroll down a couple of times, and then you're going to go back to Facebook and keep scrolling. And just by clicking once, you're going to get led straight into the next e-commerce ad. So as you guys can see here, we found an ad that has 3,300 comments, 2.5k shares, and a bunch of likes, which means that they are most likely making money because people would not have this amount of comments unless they're running like a cheap engagement campaign to a cheap country. But it's very, very rare, so there's a high chance that these guys are making money. What we can do is we can open their page right here. Unfortunately, guys, since I'm poor, I don't have good Wi-Fi, so it's not loading in any of the images. But what we can do is we can go on their stores and we can find a couple of errors so we can see if this store is properly designed. But as I said, it doesn't load in anything. I think there's a lot of things they can do to make the store look better, but these are things you guys can find out yourself. It's about finding pain point for customers. But what we can do is we can message the page right up here. So if you click the name of it, we can get the page right up here. We can send them a simple message saying, hey, is this the right place to ask a question? Then once they start, we're going to pitch our service. I'm willing to bring you 1,000 more sales every single month, or I'm willing to increase your profit margins, or I will take your store from whatever you're doing right now and 3x that within 40 days. You don't pay me anything. All I ask is for you to cut me 20% of whatever I make, 10% of whatever I make. Like, start low, guys, if you're new, and then get straight to business. When you do outreach, either you're straight to business or you're actually trying to help them. There's no in between. Don't go and give value hope for a meeting. Either you really help them and they will sell themselves on a meeting, or you straight up. And I like to be straight up and work on a big volume. So if I send 200 messages and 5 guys reply, that's really valuable 5 replies if I actually am straight up, because they know I want to do business and so do they. But let me show you the master strategy, the really good one. That's something you do on this software called Dropify. Now, this video is not sponsored or anything. By the way, guys, if you want to start a Shopify store, I got a link that gives you Shopify for just $1 for 90 days. So if you're interested, just use it in the description. I don't know if you guys want to start it, but if you want to start a Shopify store, just use the link because you get like a super good deal on the trial. But anyways, there's a couple of things we can do on Dropify. First of all, it shows you all the Facebook ads out there pretty much, so which means that it shows us e-commerce products, right? So if we scroll down here, we can see a bunch of e-com stores like this one, for example. But the best thing about it, and this is not a sponsored video, I'm just telling you that, but the best thing about it is that we can sort it. So we can find stores here, first seen date, put it 2 months back, make sure we find new stores. We can go ahead and sort it by countries so we can get the best countries. Now for that, you need the paid plan, which is like $7-10. But man, if you're starting an agency, you might as well spend $10 to actually get it set up properly. But yeah, we can go ahead here and we can increase the comments, likes, and shares. So if we drive the comments up to 50, there's a way higher likelihood that they're actually making money compared to if they have 0 comments. Like everyone can run Facebook ads for $5 and have 0 comments. So make sure to drive the likes up a little bit. Make sure you put the comments up a little bit to make sure you know that they're making some money. And after we've done that, we can go ahead and hit search, and we're going to be hit with tons of ads for e-commerce stores. So then all we need to do is see like what's the relevant product. Obviously this is a picture of a chicken and a stomach. That's not relevant. It's not a physical product. So as you guys see, there's a button here for Facebook, and we can also go to details. So if we first start by going to details, we can go into this next page here and we can pull up their store. So the first thing we do is we do some research on the store, see what could be done better. This is a dropshipping store, don't got reviews, there's no trust on it, it's just really bad. Then we can pull up their Facebook page right here, and we follow the exact same strategy. We go to the page and we send them a message, plugging or offer. So that's how we find the clients. You can also post in groups to find them. But if you want to start an e-commerce agency, I recommend you to only get 2 to 3 clients, or maybe even just 1, just to get the ball rolling. And just imagine if you have a store that you scale from $20,000 to $150,000 a month, which is super easy. My Facebook ad strategy teaches you everything you need to know. All the information is in there, and I've used it to scale stores past $200,000, $300,000 a month. If you start an agency now, you only need 1 or 2 clients, and you can really be making a lot of money. Because there's guys out there on YouTube saying that you can just cold call your local dentist or gym and set appointments and close deals for $2,000 a month. First of all, if you lose 3 of your clients at $10,000 a month, you're out of business. Second of all, what type of local business is going to pay you $2,000, $3,000 a month on a very regular basis and work with you for a long time? Like, you're probably going to mess up and you're probably going to lose the client eventually. I'm not saying local business is not good. You can definitely make a very successful lead generation agency. I know people that does it, but I would say that this is a way more scalable approach. It's way easier. It's a lot more casual, and getting on sales meeting and setting up deals, it's way easier, but it's making a lot more money. If you just look at it like this, you have 2 stores, they're making $200,000 a month. You get a deal with them and you get 25% of the sales you make for them. It's a lot more than a $1,000 retainer. So get a store that's doing $20,000, $30,000 a month, scale it up to $100,000, take your cut, watch my Facebook ad tutorial because it's got all the information you need. But that's how you start your agency. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Click a like on it and subscribe. And I'm telling you, an e-commerce agency is really not as hard as you think.